Hey, think back to when you were a kid. What were your parents like when it came to money? Were they the kind who taught you how to save, or did they avoid talking about it altogether? Maybe they were super strict about spending, or maybe they encouraged you to buy whatever you wanted. Now, here's the crazy part, whether you realize it or not, those early lessons, or lack of lessons, are influencing how you handle money today. That's right, your childhood experiences have a huge impact on your financial habits as an adult. The way you think about spending, saving, investing, and even your attitude toward debt, all can be traced back to how you grew up. So, let's dive into how your past might be secretly shaping your financial future, and how you can take control of it. Think about it, when we're young, we're like sponges. We soak up everything around us, our parents' behavior, what they said about money, even the little comments they made about things like bills or shopping. These lessons stick with us, often without us even realizing it, and they form the foundation for how we handle money as adults. You might be surprised to learn that your money habits aren't just about what you earn or how much you know, they're also about how you were raised. Let's break this down. If you grew up in a household where money was tight, you might have developed a strong sense of frugality. You might be the type of person who saves every penny, clips coupons, and compares prices for everything, even the smallest items. And while that's a great trait to have in many ways, it can sometimes lead to feelings of scarcity. Even if you're doing well financially now, you might still have a poverty mindset, where you're always worrying about running out of money, even if there's plenty in the bank. On the other hand, if you grew up in a household where money was abundant or your parents were more relaxed about spending, you might have a more carefree attitude when it comes to money. Maybe you tend to spend without thinking twice, or you have a live for today mentality, focusing on enjoying life now instead of saving for the future. That's not necessarily a bad thing, who doesn't want to have fun and live in the moment? But it can sometimes make it harder to plan for long-term goals, like retirement or buying a home. Now, let's talk about what happens when we don't talk about money at all. For some of us, money wasn't a topic that came up in conversation at home. Maybe your parents didn't discuss their finances openly, or maybe they avoided talking about money altogether. In these situations, it's easy to grow up feeling a little uncomfortable around money. You might not have learned basic skills like budgeting or saving, because it wasn't something that was talked about. And when money isn't discussed, you don't get the chance to understand its value or how to manage it responsibly. But here's the thing, just because your childhood experiences shaped how you handle money today doesn't mean you're stuck in those patterns forever. The good news is, you can break free from these old habits and create a healthier relationship with money. It all starts with awareness. Start by taking a close look at your spending habits. Are you someone who buys things impulsively when you're feeling stressed or down? Maybe that's a result of growing up with a sense of emotional spending or using money to fill an emotional void. If that's the case, being aware of this pattern is the first step to breaking it. Instead of making that impulsive purchase, take a moment to reflect, is this something I actually need? Or am I just trying to feel better for a moment? If you've always struggled with saving because you were taught to live paycheck to paycheck, or you've got a bit of a spend it while you've got it mentality, it might be time to reframe your thinking. Think about the future. What's something you want to work toward? Maybe it's a vacation, a new car, or even an emergency fund. Whatever it is, set small, achievable goals, and every time you reach one, you'll feel more motivated to continue building better financial habits. And for those of us who grew up learning about budgeting, saving, and managing money carefully, while this is a great foundation, it's still important to ask yourself, am I too cautious? It's easy to get caught up in the fear of making a mistake and avoid spending money on anything other than the essentials. But remember, life is about balance. While it's smart to save and plan for the future, it's also important to enjoy the present. Sometimes, treating yourself to something small or going out with friends is just as important for your mental health as it is for your financial health. Another thing to consider is your attitude toward debt. If you grew up with the idea that debt is bad, that it's something to be avoided at all costs, you might find yourself hesitant to take on any debt, even if it could actually help you in the long run. For example, not using credit for things like a car loan or mortgage might be limiting your ability to invest in things that help you build wealth over time. Debt can be a powerful tool when used wisely, but it's important to know the difference between good debt, like a mortgage or student loan, and bad debt, like high-interest credit card debt. Once you've identified these childhood influences, it's time to take charge. Educate yourself about personal finance and take small, manageable steps toward changing your money mindset. You can start with simple things like setting a budget, learning about investment options, or reading up on how credit works. Understanding the why behind your financial habits will help you make better decisions moving forward. Also, try talking about money more openly. If you grew up in a household where money was a taboo subject, start having conversations about finances with friends or family. Talk about saving, investing, and even the mistakes you've made, because guess what? We all make them. The more you normalize these conversations, the less fear and discomfort you'll feel around money. It's also important to be kind to yourself through this process. Changing your financial habits takes time, and old patterns don't disappear overnight. But every time you make a mindful decision with your money, you're building a new habit. The goal is progress, not perfection. So, the next time you catch yourself making a financial decision, ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is this an old habit from my childhood? Recognizing the influence of your past is the first step to taking control of your financial future. Remember, your childhood doesn't have to dictate how you handle money for the rest of your life. You have the power to rewrite your money story. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on taking control of your financial habits. Got any stories about how your childhood shaped your finances? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think.